Heyo everyone, this is the HappyAnimaidCafeManager here with another walkthrough episode for the game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So far, I managed to prolong the trial, so it is still March 22nd and it's later that afternoon, 2:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that, Adrian. No way, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planned that blood-covered blood on your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she was the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial is over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Phoenix. You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact for her strength and will to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left the suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it. It's Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida, all to get that suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about the relationship? Better stated, Mr. Andrews' codependency with regard to Miss Impact. It was Edward. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Alright. That same afternoon, 2:25 p.m. District Court courtroom number 3. Now, court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edwards, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ungard. I see, now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure, what is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. And this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was it that bait and fry reminds me of fishing? But I didn't kill him. No one has accused you of that. I've got a feeling someone will soon. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then, witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. When I found the body. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. When I was what I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice, yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer. She has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pace. She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense, the instant this trial is over. Understand? It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room yet. Excuse me, what are you? Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Let her be for now. I should have backed off. As long as I don't have any proof, she's not going to talk. Then we continue now. Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? You were in shock. What? I was not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? The one with the knife lodged in his chest, and the guitar case was like this too. Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Correa, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind was really My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that as you said you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This is a mess of glass shards. It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell onto the guitar case. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's all. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between the perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to, for Maya's sake. After that, I went to Juan's room. Then why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So, the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon, what are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had more of a personal matter to discuss with the victim. Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I can't get her to talk about a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now, witness. What did you see when you got to his room? Not the where it fell onto the guitar case. Well, I've gone somewhere a little, so at least. But she had other objectives. Well, I've already ruled out two possibilities. You testify that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And you sure it fell onto the guitar case. Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gone well on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. Well, what is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was opened when the vase fell, the glass shard should have been inside, not outside the case. What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say that she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be, however, An empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case. It seems that there is no deeper meaning to this guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear any more details about the guitar case? Make her testify. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for the straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along. For now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I'll remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked over the vase. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man. I'll remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see, are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she would answer or not. Her codependency is coming through though, huh? Well, Miss Andrews, yes, it was me. So you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Correa's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on topic, it's not a big deal though, right? The case was simply empty after all. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Was it that because you were shocked and dazed at the discovery of the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with, I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the courtroom records, waiting to be found. I was going to imply that she's trying to find a suicide note. Man, I'm losing my chances really quick. No. Getting really tired here. That's for why I opened the case. I don't even know. No, but if I had some evidence to hit her with. Big old board here. Tries to hide it. Does she open the guitar case? Whoa. I'll try anything right now because I have no clue where to go from here. But anyway, I'm out of time in this episode anyway. So thanks for watching. Until next time, to be continued. I'll try harder next time.